All right, guys, we're gonna go over this RV and how to use it. First of all, this is your electric tongue jack. There's two buttons here. One is up and down for the jack. The other one is a light switch for if you're docking at night or something like that, you can turn that on. Your two propane tanks are located right here. To access this, you just lift this right off and the tanks are located below. Hopefully you never need to worry about it, but the battery is located right behind the propane tanks. As we come around the side, every side of this RV, every corner has a stabilizer jack. To lower those, there's a little hand crank in the storage compartment. You just put it in and then you just wind it down. They just stabilize the RV so when you're walking inside, it doesn't wobble on you. It just makes it a little bit more stable. You also have a large awning on this. Just remember, wind, rain, anything like that at all, you want to make sure this is closed up. Don't get up and go hiking in the morning and leave it out. These are really expensive to replace. They cost about $1,900. So if you break it, it can be pretty expensive. So just comes in a kit, it's a set, so just be careful with that. And then if you come around here, to access the RV, they have the solid step system, which is pretty sweet. First of all, whenever you're traveling, just close this over the door, but to access it, you lift up and you twist it. You push on the door and pull the handle. You're gonna open it up just like this, and your stairs are located right inside. There's a blue lever right here. You'll pull that, and then you're gonna fold these stairs down. One other thing you wanna take note of is there's a little metal thing sticking out here and here. Those right here, if you push these in, you can actually adjust the height of each leg. So if you are not on a stable or not on a level piece of ground, you can adjust each leg independently so to make sure that the stairs are stable. I'm gonna show you one other thing. When you pull this, you're gonna pull this down. Make sure the door is all the way open. If it's not, you're gonna crush the door here and you can damage it. So just make sure that's up all the way. And then once you set this down, it's gonna touch the bottom here. You're gonna wanna make sure that this right here is flush with the entryway. If the stairs are not flush and they're up at an angle like this or something because you didn't level it, when you go to close this door, you're gonna damage or break the door or even the hinges on the door. So make sure that's always flush whenever you're operating the door. And then to close it, you're just gonna do the same thing. Make sure this door is 180 degrees open. Reach down, pick this guy up. Make sure you don't hit right here. You're gonna take this lever, you're gonna lock it into place, shut it, close the door, and then go ahead and close your handle over the door while you're traveling. That way, if the door popped open on you or something when you're driving, it won't open all the way. There are some electrical outlets on the outside here. Usually, just remember you need the inverter turned on or running a generator or plugged in at the park to work any of your outlets. Right back here, you don't really need to worry about this, but it's an outdoor refrigerator area. Make sure you clean it out before you return the RV. That's one thing you guys are responsible for, is cleaning up the fridge outside if you use it, okay? Every corner, like we talked about, has a stabilizer jack. Make sure those are up before you drive away. If you leave them down, obviously, and you pull away, you're gonna bend them and break them. They can get pretty expensive to replace them. Usually when you do that, you tore off one or two jacks, so just be careful. You have a ladder back here, but this ladder is for servicing the RV only. We don't want you up on the roof walking around or anything. It is a curved roof. This is just to service the air conditioning unit, maybe clean off the solar panels, that kind of thing. And then you also have a rear hitch area here. This is always gonna be locked. This is not for hooking up a trailer, an additional trailer, or anything like that. This is just for one of those little carriers that you could put your cooler on top of or something like that. You do have a rear storage area. This is where you're gonna find your sewer hose, your water hose, all that kind of gear is gonna be back here. And then as we come around, we're gonna get into the business of the RV over here. You have your power cord right here. This is for your shore power, or if you're running a generator, it's gonna plug in right here, and then the other end of the cord plugs in to the generator or the park. One thing you wanna note, if you are at an RV park, always double check the power box at the park. 99% of the problems when people call and say, I don't have power, and they're at a park, is they forgot to turn on the breaker switch at the park on the park pedestal. So just always double check that. That's usually what the issue is if you're not getting any power in here if you're at a park. Anyways, moving on, you do have your water fill for your fresh water. To fill that, you're just gonna take your garden hose, you're gonna fill it up, and you're gonna watch that gauge inside. If for some reason it overfills, there's a little relief valve. You can pull it and empty a little bit of it out. There is also, right here, it says City Water Connect, that's this guy. If you're at a park, you can actually hook into the park water. We do not recommend that. we recommend you just fill the tank and turn on the pump. What can happen with this city water connection is, say there's a lot of water pressure at the park, you can blow out all your water lines and then you'd have a big flood inside. So we always recommend just fill the tank and then use the pump on and off switch whenever you're going to use it. If for some reason you did decide to use this, anytime you use it, you need to come outside, turn on the water, use it, come back outside, turn it off. Anytime you're leaving the RV, you need to make sure it's off, all that kind of stuff. The plumbing in an RV is not like your house. They're just plastic fittings, they just stick together, all that kind of stuff, and they always drip a little bit, or a little bit of water leaks here and there. So just make sure you turn off the water, because that water pressure inside will cause those leaks, or even blowing out, and then you got water gushing in all over the place. You have a large slide out right here. It comes out about 2.5 feet, so just make sure if you're parking next to a tree or something, you're pretty far away, or you got your bicycles out here or something, when you're operating the slide out, make sure it's not gonna hit anything. Same thing, when you close it, make sure there's nothing in the way inside when you close that slide out. You do have your dump on this guy. There's 2 actual pull valves, one for the sewer and then one for the gray water. The one in the back right here is for the gray water. So you'll take that sewer hose, you're gonna screw it on here, and then you'll pull this lever out just like it is. That's just gonna drain out. We actually recommend you do the black water one first, which is the one in the front right here. You'll hook your sewer hose on, you'll pull the valve, that's gonna come out. Like we talked about right here, there are some plug-ins here. This top one is actually for the tank flush. So you would pop this off, make sure your black water is open, and you hook the hose right here. It's gonna help clean out and flush out that black water tank. Just make sure anytime you're putting water through this top one, which is the tank flush one, that the valve for the black water is open. The last thing you wanna do is have that valve closed and you backfill the toilet and everything with water, because it's not open and draining and you're just filling up the sewage. So just be careful of that. As we come around, you do have a nice little storage area over here, but you do have some exhaust vents here. These can get hot, so don't lean any gear against this. We don't recommend you lean any gear against the trailer. A lot of people don't realize this, but they think they're all stable inside, but every time you walk, the trailer moves just a little bit. So if you have something on here, it'll start rubbing on your RV, on the RV, and it could damage it. So we just don't recommend you have anything touching the RV. And then you have just the other side of that pass-through right here. You can put your gear in here, all that kind of stuff. Your last stabilizer jack. And then this button right here is for the front lights on the RV. If you're loading at night, you want some more lighting, or you're just at a campground and you want to make your RV look awesome, so you know which one to come back to at night, you can just turn this light on right here. And then when you're not using it, obviously we recommend you turn it off, otherwise you're gonna be draining batteries. All right, so we're gonna head on inside and show you how to use the inside. All right, guys, we're gonna go over how to use the RV. First of all, right here is the main control panel. This is pretty sweet. As you walk by, it'll light up. And then you have all your controls here. You have your awning, your awning light, your step light, your interior lighting, master switch. You also have your hot water heater. One's electric, one's gas. We always recommend you run off the gas, which is the flame one. You also have your water pump located right here, and your water heater right here. You do have your slide control here as well. Just make sure anytime you're moving the slide in or out, you make sure there's nothing in the way so it doesn't crush something coming in or on its way out hit something. And then you also have your awning in and out retract button there. You do have a couple outlets around here. This is really nice. This right here is really important. This is your refrigerator on-off switch. So if you're going to be using the refrigerator, this switch must be turned on. And then there's a dial inside the fridge. It's always set to 7, which is the coldest. So we just recommend you use that setting. You shouldn't need to do anything inside the fridge. Right here, this is a large booth dinette, which turns into a huge bed, which is really nice. All you need to do for this is you're going to lift the table off, and then there are little stopper knobs right here. You'll put this table right on top of those knobs, and then you take these rear cushions and you put it over the table, and it makes a large sleeping area. One other thing I want to go over with you is right down here by the door is actually a breaker box with some breakers in there. Hopefully you don't ever need to get in there for anything, but if something's not working, you might need to check that. And then lastly, there is an inverter on this RV. To turn that on, right here on the dinette booth, there is a button located right here. All you would do is push that on, and that's going to give you power to the outlets when you are off grid. Just be careful when you're, like I said before, when you're using the slide out in and out. You just want to make sure nothing's in the hallway here and you're not crushing anything like that. I'm going to have you step through here and take a look. We have a 3-top burner. stove, just remember, this is not a glass cooktop. You'll lift this up just like this, and you flip it behind, and now that becomes your backsplash. All right, you also have your microwave right here. You have a nice sink area. And then on the left side, we have your heating and cooling controls, the thermostat. It's just right here. To cycle through, you would hit this button. It'll cycle through the heat, the air conditioner, the fan, all that kind of stuff, and the off button. You also have your solar controller right here. You don't really need to worry about that. That's just going to tell you how many watts are going into the battery right now. You do have a couple lights around the corner on these bunk beds. To access those, you would just literally turn this over right here, and you're going to push on the light switch right in the middle, and that'll turn it on and off. All right, so I'm going to send you inside the bathroom here, and I'm going to have you take a look. It is a foot flush floor panel. So to flush, it's actually a two-way. So you push it halfway down, it'll fill the bowl up with some water, and then to flush, you'll push it all the way down. It's got a nice little shower area and everything like that. This is a great little RV. You guys are going to love it. We are so excited to have you. It's one of our most popular floor plans. It sleeps a lot of people in a really compact size. We know you're going to love this one. We can't wait to see you. If you have any questions, you can let us know when you pick it up. Thanks.